the GRA, and a company called SML to do revenue assurance in the downstream petroleum sector. The GRA has issued a statement responding to that documentary. We're joined now by Ben Boakye of ACEP. He's the Executive Director at the Africa Center for Energy Policy. We're joined now by Ben to try and analyze this statement. Ben, good morning to you.
Good morning, Kojo.
All right, let me read a paragraph from the statement issued by the GRA. It says, and I quote, "The work of SML over the period has led to a significant increase in the figures reported in the downstream petroleum sector, from an average of 350 million litres per month in 2018 and 2019 to 450 million litres per month from 2020 to 2021. This represents over a 33% increase in volume reporting and an average of an extra 100 million litres per month at a levy rate of 1.44 Ghana cedis. The extra revenue variance gained for the 2 years will exceed 3 billion Ghana cedis. This performance is attributable mainly to the introduction of ICOMs and SML systems." So the paragraph starts with the GRA claiming the work of SML has led to an increase, and it ends saying that the performance is attributable to ICOMs and SML. Your thoughts on this reaction from the GRA?
I think it's a very interesting, response from the GRA. And if you read it, I think they are pretty smart about some of the claims or confirmation, if you like, that is put out. For example, the last one you read, where the GRA says it is attributable to ICOMs and XML. How do we disintegrate that? To know how much can we attribute to ICOMs systems and how much can we attribute to SML. That leaves it very big for us to interrogate. I think the benchmark really is for us to look at the data that is generated by NPA, the agency that regulates the sector and has an overview of how much product comes into the country. They meter products before they get into the tank and when they exit the tank. And even when they are in the tank, there are systems to track them. Both has had tank gauging systems for the past decade. So all that data exists. So what will be robust and ideal for GRA to have done is to compare data from their end to what exists in the industry, what the industry has control of, what government agencies have control of. And then you'll be making a rigorous analysis. Okay. If you compare yourself to yourself, then you wouldn't even know whether you needed to build new systems or not. Because, as I indicated, the revenue assurance job is not an exclusive right of GRA. GRA by law mandates people who are engaged in economic activity to raise revenue, to make sure that the revenues are accurate. They can come in once in a while to come and audit. For example, if I'm the CEO of an organization, I make sure that I report on my tax GRA. I'm responsible for the accuracy of that data. Otherwise, the sanctions comes at me. So I'm a revenue assurance agent for GRA. Right? And in the same way, so if you compare that data to NPA and there is some discrepancy, then you can then interrogate the relevance of your intervention. They haven't done that. And those are the things that we are responsible for, to be able to put the data side by side and let the public know, whether there was any justification whatsoever in replicating, some of these data generating efforts.
Okay.
So Ben, so we are really looking at these numbers, interrogating the two sets of data that are available in the industry. I think the journalists also have responsibility. I've seen a lot of publications that are not referencing data, but they're just citing some of the things that are internal. But we have the data. NPA has published it. They published the historical data from the 1990s, that we can all look at and to see whether there is that benefit that we can attribute to this engagement that GRA has gotten into. But again, we have been in this space for so long, and we have engaged GRA, we have engaged the stakeholders about the leakages in the petroleum sector. And two things everybody in the industry will agree which accounts for tax leakages are: one, OMCs who lift products collect taxes from everybody, including you and I, and decide that they would annex that tax. They will not pay the tax to government. So, in simple terms, somebody has collected taxes that belong to the state, and they have decided on their own that they will not pay the tax to government. And yet, we see that as a problem that requires additional systems instead of going to chase those people. It's not that we don't know that they have lifted product and they owe tax. So it's a simple matter of ensuring that anybody lifting product will pay the tax. And you know why they don't pay? They don't pay because they are political OMCs. They can decide not to pay the tax, and yet the system that should block them from further lifting products allows them to lift. And it's happening today. Even the icons in GRA, there are OMCs that they are not supposed to lift products, but they allow them to lift. So you create problems, and then you tell us that you are creating a solution to fix it. That is number one. Number two is that these are fuel tankers that are crisscrossing the country. Our products are able to find their way into Ghana illegally through the ports and unapproved routes along our shores. We have the Navy, we have national security, we are all aware of this. But that is not being tackled, and we have illicit products coming into the country. So you track the national data. Even though we have huge volumes of cars coming into Ghana, industrial industries are growing. You go to the mines, you look at our output has grown over 40% in the past 3 years. So it means that more diesel, more petrol is being demanded, and yet you look at the consumption growth, and it's like I don't know how to end it. It's stagnated. It's not growing. So these are important problems that you need solutions that are credible from GRA to address.
Okay. Yeah, but Ben, you spoke in that interview, and before speaking, I'm sure you probably would have, you would have done all your research. In that documentary, you talked about the fact that the work that was being done by SML was one that the GRA was already doing, and it was not guaranteeing any revenue assurance. Has anything changed, having read the document from the GRA? Have you changed position?
No, I think GRA itself is interpreting the data, and that's the point I was making. Nothing has changed. You have icons that is linked to NPA systems, and it generates a superior data. So all you have to do is to be able to ensure that the products that are coming out of the depots, you will be able to tax them. If somebody is not paying the tax, they are blocked out of the system. Let them not find any loophole to be able to activate themselves in the system. And it is happening today. The OMCs are when they are still lifting. They shouldn't be lifting. That is revenue assurance. And the fact that you were able to plug in, the reason why they plugged into the FPA system was because we realized that they were not speaking to each other. So if you check the 2018, before they plugged into the NPA database, 2018-19, the disparity between NPA data and GRA data was huge. But when they plugged in, you will see that the disparity has reduced. So there is way to deal with these things using the systems that exist. Ensure that we can track products that are crisscrossing the country. And these are not, toffees that you put in your pocket. These are tracks, and they are identifiable on our streets.
Okay.
That we should be able to track and not complain about revenue leakage in this space.
All right. Ben Boakye, thank you very much for joining us. We definitely will come back to you to have further discussions on this particular issue. We're very grateful to you.